While President Joe Biden pretends that his policies have not created a crisis and a surge at the southern border, the criminal Coyotes, who his policies have empowered, are saying otherwise. Take a listen. I'll translate, since I'm such an expert in Spanish and I can read subtitles. Is business booming right now? Does it pay well? It does, given the situation with the people. At least that's what these two young men say, having built a highly profitable business. This is Univision, by helping Central American families seeking asylum to cross into the U.S. We just come here to earn our daily bread like everybody else, says the criminal Coyote. In all honesty, there are way too many people with the benefits your president is now granting. People found the courage to come. In all honesty, look, man, who am I? I'm just a small criminal coyote who abuses people and breaks the laws of multiple nations. But man, your president is insane. Your president is serious. It's too much. All right, please. We're getting too rich off of this, say the gangsters. AOC says that I am not supposed to call what is going on at the border a surge or a crisis. I'm not allowed to do that just because the numbers are surging, just because we obviously have a crisis, 1,500% capacity in some detention facilities. I'm not allowed to call it either of those things because that would make me a racist.
They want to say, what about the surge? Well, first of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. And that's a problem because this is not a surge. These are children and they are not insurgents and we are not being invaded, which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea, philosophy. The idea that if an other is coming in the population, that this is like an invasion of who we are.
Invasion is a white supremacist word. So, for instance, when Genghis Khan's armies were taking over and conquering lands, that was white supremacy. When the Greeks invaded Troy, that was white supremacy. Were the Trojans white? Were the Greeks white? As just a technical matter, what is going on at the southern border is an invasion. Now, the reason that one can hesitate to call it an invasion, there are two reasons. One, the people who are coming in, the foreign nationals pouring across our border illegally, are not armed, and usually the idea of an invasion involves people being armed, preparing for armed conflict, and they're not, which ties into the second reason that one hesitates to call it an invasion, namely, they're being invited in by Democrats. Joe Biden is actually saying, come, surge, get over here, come on, we want you to come. He's using all those white supremacist terms. But just as a purely technical matter, take all the emotion out of it. When a foreign people subject to a foreign state starts lawlessly pouring across your border in contravention of your national borders, of your sovereignty and of your laws, what do you call that? Do you call that a dinner party? No, is it closer to a dinner party or an invasion? It seems to me very much the latter. But she goes further than that. She says you can't call it a surge. It's not a surge, it's children. Yeah, children can surge. Yes, when we're talking about the surge, we're talking about a rapid increase in numbers. And that is just what's happening. Doesn't matter if you can call it a surge in bunny rabbits at the local park. It's not a surge, it's bunny rabbits. Right, we're just talking about the massive increase in numbers that you're seeing because of Joe Biden. It's not a crisis. We're just, putting kids in cages, that same thing that AOC pretended to cry about when Trump did it. Even though the policy wasn't even originally a Trump policy. It's a policy that dates back all the way to the Clinton administration. So dishonest. And what she does, it works, obviously. I fell for it. She says things that are patently absurd, like when people come en masse over a border illegally, you can't call that an invasion or you're a white supremacist. And when numbers increase, you can't call it a surge. And when you're at a critical moment, you can't call it a crisis. So she says things that are just incoherent, indefensible. And then she gets all of us to be exasperated by it, but then the terms of the discussion are on her preferred battlefield, right? This is what the left always does. They get us to argue on their terms. And we're doing it right now. I mean, the reason I'm bringing this story up right now is just to call your attention to this rhetorical and political technique, and to call your attention to the central strategy of political correctness, which I detail quite a lot in my book, Speechless: Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, available now for pre-order, which is that they believe that if you redefine the words, you can redefine reality. If I say it's not a crisis, then you know what? It's not a crisis. If I say that a whole lot of foreigners are not pouring across our border, I don't even know what the argument she's making is, then they're really not. If it's not a surge, it's not a surge. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Michael Knowles Show. To check out the full episode, hit the link in the description or download the Michael Knowles Show wherever you listen to podcasts.